Hey guys, and welcome to FaithWorks Designs. I'm Faith, and today we are in a different angle because, well, ain't nobody got time for setting up cameras. So, I don't know about you guys, but the Walmart bags are on literally my last nerve because they break before we even get to the car. You're trying to put them in, you're trying to carry them in the house. It's really super annoying. So, I got looking around on the internet and I found this pattern that I'm going to share with you guys today. We're going to go step by step through it. It's actually a pretty easy and quick sew if you want to make some stuff for yourself. These might even be a nice bag for like a craft fair or something because they're so quick to sew. Now they do take a decent amount of material. In today's video we're doing the pattern, however I've added 9 inches to the length of the pattern. So I will link the pattern somewhere so that you guys can find it, but in today's pattern I am adding 9 inches because I felt like it wasn't deep enough of a bag. Also in today's video, the pattern calls for it to just kind of like be a strap that you can grab and hang on to. In today's video we are going to actually make it into a shoulder strap. I may have to back the camera out a little bit, but I wanted it to be able to be a shoulder strap because I saw it somewhere else online and I was like, that's a little bit better because I know for me, chances are I'm carrying a ton of stuff into the house. I always do. I can't help it. I always have a ton of stuff. So if it had a shoulder strap, and I'll post a better picture here, it would be easier for me to carry things in and out of the house. I do highly recommend this pattern. It is really cool. I'm glad that I found it, and I will be making several of these, and my customers have already seen them and they love them. So I would highly recommend grabbing them. Grabbing the pattern, it's actually kind of like a tip basis on her website. So I just put in $5 or whatever you feel like the pattern is worth to you now. I wish I had put more, but I wasn't sure. I've never bought a pattern from this person before, so I just wanted to see kind of what it was like. But if you go on her site, make sure that you tip her. Don't just take it for free. Leave her a couple bucks so she can keep making patterns that are cool like this. So you've got the bag here. You are going to need 4 sliders. You're going to need 4 little sliders. I got these on Amazon. You are going to need 2 and 14 inches, 2 yards and 14 inches of webbing. Because we're adding the strap to it, one of the webbing that adjusts is 36 inches, and the other one that you connect the adjustable band webbing to is 7 inches. So you're going to need a lot of webbing, but totally worth it. So you are going to need a zipper. I do zipper tape, that way I can just kind of measure it out however I want. The length for the zipper tape is in the pattern, so go by that. None of that's changing. But it's actually like really deep. It's just, I wanted it to be a lot deeper. Like I want to hold a ton of stuff. I want to go to Aldi's and I want to get a ton of stuff and I don't have to worry about getting any of those paper bags. I got this and it'll hold a lot. I'll post pictures in the video so you guys can see. The original pattern I tried beforehand and I didn't think about needing extra webbing. So I used the 1.5 inch webbing that I had, and so you could kind of tell a difference of how wide this is. It's not, in the original pattern, it's not as wide or as big as you needed to carry a lot of stuff. So it's up to you. You can stay with the regular pattern measurements for your first one just to kind of get a feel. Your next one, add 9 inches. I do tell you how to pleat it with the extra 9 inches. I would not recommend 1.5 inch straps. It's going to be bulky. The next thing that I almost forgot about when I was recording this, but the elastic. Make sure that you don't forget the elastic, because when you fold it up, it's so that you can kind of put it away and you just kind of wrap it around, and it helps you keep it nice and tight. Because I know in our van we have the little seats where you can put stuff under. I'm going to be putting a bunch of these under the seat so that I don't forget to take them when I go to Aldi's. So it'll be nice to just walk in there with a handful of those, unroll them out, and then pack my groceries. So if you can't tell, that's where I like to shop for groceries. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so we've got 1-inch webbing this time, and it's going to be a 36-inch piece. You are going to need 2 sliders. So I got these little plastic sliders on Amazon, and I went ahead for the 36-inch piece. You're going to mark about 1.5 inches and fold it through, and we're going to just sew a little box so that this slider is stuck in there. So you can just do like a little 1-inch box all the way around, making sure that you burn the ends. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab a 7-inch piece of webbing. And what I did was I folded it under 1.5 inches, and then in the directions she tells you the measurements up to be able to line up your webbing. And so I use the 7-inch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew starting here, go up to the adjuster, come over, and then all the way back down, so this is nice and tight to the fabric. We got to go do this first and then do this. Alright, so I have got the little loops attached. Yes, I used beige thread because I was lazy and didn't feel like changing it out. Alright, now we've also got this attached. What we're going to do with the ugly side up is we're going to keep it flat. We're going to go through this slider right here, pull it through, then we're going to go back through the slider up and down so that these two are connected. And then you're going to go over to the edge, which you cannot see, and you're going to sew just like you did, 5 inches up, down, and around. This is quite the shot we've got going on here. So. Alright, so we've got, it should look like this. So you've got, I put my belt loop all the way up to where I sewed. You can probably see right here. I put my belt there so that it will lay somewhat flat. It's a little bit bigger because I wanted it to be the shoulder strap. So you've got your other little slider here that's connected to your little strap. Everything's all sewn in. I forgot to mention that you're going to want to go up about 5 inches here on this side. In the pattern she has you go up a little bit further, but because I wanted you to be able to use the strap, I wanted it to be able to hang a little bit more. Now obviously this is as tight as it can get. Let's loosen it all the way up. So you'll have a decent shoulder strap to carry your bag in. So, alright, now that you've done that, if you don't remember what I did, rewind, because we got to do this again on the other short side. So do it one more time. So I've got this all folded up so that you can see both sides have got the webbing on them, and also when you're going to do these, make sure that you put them going the same direction. You don't want to have them like reversed because then it'll look weird, so just make sure that you've got same thing situation going on each end. The next thing you're going to need is a zipper to go across the short end of your fabric. Should go all the way across. You're going to put the right side of the zipper to the right side of the fabric. This is going to be on the outside. And the next directions tell you to sew all the way down. They tell you to sew all the way down this one side, and then open it up, and then top stitch. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's go. So we have stitched and top stitched, and when you're stitching like this, make sure that you're, you can't even see that. When you're stitching the zipper on initially, you need to make sure that you get past your serging, because if you don't, you're going to end up seeing it like right there. So just make sure that you sew past that serging. Alright, so I top stitched this. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go from the other end, make sure that right sides are together, so you're going to see the back side of this, and then you're going to do just like you just did. You're going to clip all this down, making sure the sides meet. There's clips here somewhere. Clip all the way down, then you're going to sew all the way down without getting your zipper, and then you're going to top stitch just like you did the other side. Alright guys, now in the pattern she had her measurements a little bit shorter than what I'm going to do. I didn't like how small the bag was, so I added 9 inches down. When you look at the pattern, just add 9 inches if you want to make it this big. So in the pattern she's got you putting the right side of the zipper, your wrong side to wrong side facing each other, and then you're going to have the bottom of your bag right here. She wants you to mark 4.5 up and then 1.5 over. At each of these pins I'm going to need to start back stitching, come here, back stitch, and then pull it out. We're just sewing these because this is the part that's going to help you get those pleats so that you can put your bag together. Now, if you're looking at this and you're going, you have a lot more pins than I do, it's because I added the 9 inches. I knew it was going to be folded in half, and so I was going to need that extra 9 inches so that I could get a longer bag, and I was going to need another pleat. And my sewing machine can handle all the layers. It's just up to you. So let's go. So at each of these pins, 1.5 inches in, make sure that you back stitch. Don't forget to back stitch. My sewing. Now what you're going to do is from the bottom, you're going to open this up and kind of put the middle to the first seam. Then you're going to open this up. You're putting essentially the seams together, and if you need to, you can do those two and then clip them so they kind of stay where they're supposed to. Grab the next seam like that, and you can add it to the fold if you want. Then you're going to grab the next one, and you're going to do this on both sides. Make sure that your edges are all lined up because you're going to be sewing across here. The last one is going to be your zipper, and for some reason my zipper opened up, so we're going to add that one. And then add this one. Now, you've got a nice little sandwich, and what you're going to do is you're going to sew across the end right here. Now I would highly suggest going ahead and back stitching over this zipper, because you don't want the zipper to accidentally come out or come apart from itself. So I would back stitch over the zipper a couple of times. Be careful if you're doing it on a domestic, because you don't want your needle to go flying, but just be careful. But go ahead and sew that, and then do the same exact thing on the opposite side. Alright, so you're going to grab your flat fabric that's just going to go over the edge and cover up all your raw edges. She's got you going across the back and then having some of it come up on the sides. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sew this down, and then you bring it forward and it closes everything up really nicely. So go back over your 3/8 of an inch seam, and then we'll show you what to do next. Alright, so I got all that sewn up, Now what you're going to do is flip this up like that, and you're going to keep these edges in. And I gave myself a lot more fabric than I was supposed to because I didn't check the measurements. And I'm going to have to do it laying it down. Sorry, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. You are of no help. Okay. Then flip this. I'm probably going to cut this down because that is too thick. But anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to sew across here, and then your bag will be done. All you need to do is do that on both sides. Ah, I forgot. Okay, so you're supposed to cut out some elastic, and this is the only color kind that I've got, so we got to do with what we got to work with. So on one of your ends, you're supposed to put it on the back side or the very bottom of your bag, and you're supposed to do like that so that it kind of like curves. And now I had to unpick a little bit, and I'm going to shove it up here, and then I'm going to resew. Do not forget your elastic, because that's kind of the point of having that in there, is so that you can fold up your bag and keep it nice and tight in your purse or in your diaper bag or wherever. So sorry about that, guys. Alright, just don't forget your elastic. Make sure it's in your seam allowance, and make sure that you put it on the very bottom of your bag so that it will do what it's supposed to do, and you can fold this all up. Alright, so she's all done, and now because we put the elastic on and didn't forget, she folds a little differently because you got all this extra strap. So it might take an extra second to fold her up, but she'll still fold up just like the regular one will. And then you just take this elastic, and she is snug as a bug in a rug. Now, they're a little thicker. They're a little thick, in my opinion, especially because I made it, I added the 9 inches to the length. I added the extra pleat. I added the extra straps, so she's a little thick, but she's bigger now, and that way I can carry more in this bag. I would highly suggest some kind of canvas or something of a thicker nature, because if you use cotton for this and you put too much in this, you're going to end up ripping it pretty easily. It is not lined, so if you wanted to deal with lining and doing all of that, you could. It's just up to you. Alright guys, so what did you think? I know I went through it kind of quick. We are in transition here of moving things around and kind of doing things differently, so I'm sorry for like the camera angles, and you can see my ugly door back here. Hopefully I didn't go over it too fast. The instructions are pretty easy to understand. It's just a pretty quick sew. I can whip out quite a few of these if I make them all the same fabric, same thread, that kind of thing. You can whip them out pretty quick. So if you need them for yourself, or if you're wanting, like I said, to sell them at a craft fair or something like that, they'd be really quick to whip out. You could try for resale. I would try just the regular handle. It's a lot of webbing, and even getting a whole thing on Amazon, where'd you go? Even getting a cheap thing on Amazon is still, the cost of being able to resell them is going to be a little higher, adding the extra strap. So if you're reselling these, make sure that you charge a little bit more because of the webbing. And then all the hardware is just a zipper and those little sliders, and they're pretty cheap on Waywack or Amazon. I got mine on Amazon because I bought the whole kit and caboodle. I'll put a link, if I think about it, down in the description so you guys can see what all I bought, because I do other bags that I need other stuff for. So I just bought the whole kit. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe and hopefully things will be back to normal in the next video. Hopefully time will be rushed. So you can subscribe and hang around for the normal videos, or you can check out my other videos. If you have any questions, comments, I know it was kind of a quick video, but if you have any comments, questions, just leave them in the comment section down below. I do check those on a daily basis. First thing in the morning, I get up and I check all of my comments just to kind of keep up with you guys. Thanks for joining us again on Faith Works Designs. Bye, guys.